Well, it is Kershaw'sChallenge.org is the website, and the great work that the Kershaw Foundation has been able to do for so many years continues, of course, trying to help all of those in need. Meeting the challenge of the time is what always happens, P, and it is a blessing to have him on with us, as every time he joins us, there's always some sort of altruism that is involved, and it is no different this time around.
Everything he has to promote is pure benevolence, and we don't have a lot of baseball right now. We are watching replays, and some dudes in Asia hit home runs with no fans in the stands, and we're all wishing it would come back. And joining us right now to talk about helping people out like he always does, like you said, Matt, is the one and only Clayton Kershaw, Cy Young Award winner multiple times, NL MVP, 8-time All-Star, and champion of the Petros and Money show on AM 570 LA Sports, your Dodger station. What's cracking, Clayton? How are you?
Man, what an intro. Thanks, guys. We're doing good.
Good.
What's it been like for you just these last, 6 weeks? I'm sure chomping at the bit, ready to play ball.
Yeah, man. I miss it. I do. I miss being out there. We're in Texas right now at home, and I want to play baseball, and I want to watch baseball. I'm tired of watching these old baseball games on TV all the time. That's what I find myself doing. So it sounds like we're gaining some steam. We're getting a little optimistic towards the season, which is encouraging. I'm excited about that. And I know nothing more than anybody else, but it just seems like there's some momentum towards the season, which is awesome.
Your off seasons, Clayton, have always been kind of filled with your charity work, and now you have yourself an extended off season. So, let's kind of get right to it because, a deadline is approaching at Kershaw'sChallenge.org. Kind of how did you put this together, and what did you figure you were trying to accomplish in helping all of those that are in need right now, considering this current challenge that we're facing?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I mean, it's been, every year we roll out new beneficiaries, and some roll over from last year, but every year we try to find different needs to meet, different groups, different organizations. And this year was no different. We rolled it out with the season, or what was going to be the season, on opening day. And, but we also realized that, this pandemic is going on, and there's some real immediate needs that we need to address. And so we partnered with two of our beneficiaries that are already a part of Kershaw's Challenge, with the Dream Center in LA and Behind Every Door in Dallas. And we did a 2-week campaign, which has ended up tonight at midnight, where Ellen and I are just matching donation per donation. And the goal is just to feed people, get meals out there, get meals to people. The Dream Center is already doing an unbelievable job of that. And Behind Every Door is basically doing the same thing here in Dallas. And so we're just trying to contribute to that. And it's been so cool to see all the people come out and support this 2-week cause. And we've raised a bunch of money. We're already over like $35,000 that we're going to match tonight. And wow. We hopefully just keeps rolling in. It's awesome.
You mentioned the Dream Center, and it's something that we've done an awful lot with, whether it's Matthew or Clint or Justin Turner that have hopped on with us. I mean, hundreds of thousands of meals. Yeah, Ted DiBiase. I mean, it really has been quite impressive what they've been able to do. You see the line to serve the meals out there. So a big, I guess, tip of the cap. I don't have a cap on. It's my terrible haircut instead for all that great work. I was watching something, and I don't know if it's current, if it was an interview you did, a Zoom call about long toss and how important long toss is for you and for stamina and for arm strength. And it got me thinking, like, can you find a long toss partner right now? Have you been able to do the stuff that you're normally doing to get ready for a season?
Yeah, it does feel like the off season as far as preparing and limited resources. Obviously, I'm fortunate I have enough stuff here where I can work out and feel great about it, but there's plenty of places to go throw with enough yardage to do it. And thankfully, there's one other guy here in town, former Dodger, Brett Anderson. Brett lives here, and he's kind of become part of my quarantine circle. And so we throw together, and that works out. You don't have to get close playing catch, so it's awesome.
It's Kershaw'sChallenge.org. He's going to match. He's raising money for a lot of people to help out. You heard about the foundation in Dallas, of course, the Dream Center right here in Los Angeles. The great Clayton Kershaw is with us. When it comes to your teammates, we've talked to a couple of them. Max Muncy seemed like he hadn't spoken to anybody other than his family in it seemed like years. How much communication are you in with the guys? Obviously, this time of year in your life, you're used to being in a clubhouse and being on the road and working on your craft.
Yeah, we try to stay in touch, and Max has been a part of it too. I don't know, maybe he just forgot already. But, we had a game night the other night, which JT put together, which was pretty fun, and it was through Zoom, but it was some like website where you could play games and compete, and that was fun. And got the wives involved a little bit, and then we got multiple text chains going on of people posting funny workouts that they're doing, or just funny memes or gifs or whatever you call it. So it's been fun, man. It's I definitely miss the guys. It's been like you see them more than your family around this time. So as goofy as it sounds, I do miss those guys.
The great Clayton Kershaw on the Petros and Money show. Kershaw'sChallenge.org. Exactly what do you do? I mean, you said you have enough stuff. Is it just a home gym, or because a lot of people are stuck inside and like doing movies and stuff? But I imagine that it's Texas. I mean, in Texas, the Chick-fil-A is 4 stories. So I imagine you have some space, like Matt said, to get the long toss and to stretch out those legs. I bet you could run pole to pole easy on your property.
Yeah, I'm not a big, I live in Dallas. That's a pretty big city, guys.
Yeah.
But I do have a little gym here that I can get more than enough stuff done working out wise. And, throwing, there's plenty of, there is some green space around. I'll give you that. So I do have a few parks I can go to, and I'm getting enough stuff done. And I even found a mound where I can kind of throw into a net when I need to throw a bullpen. So I definitely feel like I'll be ready whenever this thing goes. So I'll be fine.
And hopefully no broken windows like your friend Joe Kelly there.
How about that? That was awesome.
Right? He came on and shared that.
Net too. That was a monster net.
We got him to unlock his wife's Instagram so the world could see that one when he was able to join us a couple of weeks back.
That was great.
You mentioned you missed the guys, and I know when it was first proposed, the idea of maybe quarantining an entire team in Arizona or Florida for 3 or 4 months, a lot of people, understandably, were like, that ain't gonna work. But we kind of continue to get information that trickles in about how they might try to do this. The latest is 100 games, home ballparks, and you'll just shift west and east. Have you been able to keep up with that? Does the Players Union keep you up to speed with that? And how comfortable are you with the variety of ways they're going to try to figure out how to get a season in?
Yeah, the thing that I've continued to say is that we all understand as players that this season's going to be different. This season is not going to be unlike anything that we've ever had as far as baseball goes. So we're open to that, and we're willing to, make, tough choices when it comes to the season so we can play baseball. But you just don't want to take away from the product on the field, and taking away fans, which is probably inevitable, already is a huge piece of this game. And so when you continue to add layers and layers of things that are going to change, it's going to affect the product on the field. So we just have to be careful with that. And I'm as open to anybody to listening to things. And I think there's a lot of people smarter than me that are figuring out what the safety issues with the coronavirus and things like that. But as far as the product on the field, I think we need to be able to go home. We need to be able to at least see our families, go to the field, and I'm going to have to start playing Call of Duty with Belly every night or something if I get quarantined. I don't know if I can handle that. I'm 32. I'm not 22. So I need to be able to see my kids every once in a while. So I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic that we'll figure something out.
It's Kershaw'sChallenge.org. Clayton Kershaw, a friend of the show, is joining us right now. He's got that status. We don't ever Zoom with people. I mean, this is very new for us on AM 570 LA Sports. You're, like you said, you're kind of a veteran, more than kind of. You're 32 years old. You've been at it a while, and you've been hurt before. You know how to stop and start, and how to get back, into a really high level of competition. As far as the team goes and team goals, how much do you think that's going to be reiterated when you guys get started again?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to really keep that in mind, that we brought in Mookie Betts, we brought in David Price, we brought in, Blake Trinan. We brought in a lot of these guys and to be a very, very good team and to win. And regardless if it's a 100-game season with no fans, there's still going to be a World Series and there's still going to be a winner. And, you know, if they put an asterisk by this year or whatever, it's still a World Series. And so I just hope that we remember that. And honestly, it's frustrating because we were built to win, and we gave up a lot of talent to get Mookie, to get David Price. You know, we gave up Doogie. We gave up a lot of guys that Andrew made some tough decisions on, but it was for this year because we don't know how long we're going to have Mookie. You know, maybe he stays around, but he's just got 1 year right now. So we want to make the most of that because he's an unbelievable talent. And David was looking really, really good in spring training, and he's had a lot of success in the past. So we were built to win, man. And that would have been fun, and I'm hopeful we can get back to it.
One of the things about this, Clayton, is kind of the way that a lot of sports programming is filling the void of no live sports, is taking a look back and playing some classic games. We've been doing it every single night here on the Dodger station at 7 p.m. Like tonight, we're going to be playing the win over the Cubs, the Kike 3-home run game. You started that game, pitched in that game. MLB Network's been doing it, and the other day they played your debut, your major league debut. I don't know if you knew it was coming and you sat down and watched it with the family or not, but there were two cool moments. One, you struck out the first batter, and two, the playback of the Sean Casey at bat in the minor leagues that Vin Scully describing it as one of the greatest pitches he's ever seen. The curveball that froze Casey. Did you see that? Do you remember that? And what can you share with us about that?
I didn't see it at the time. I was probably in between diaper changes or running after Charlie or something, but I definitely remember that day, and I remember that bat. It was actually in spring training of that year, like getting called up into big league spring training. And yeah, man, I mean, to have Vin say that, and you know, it's memorable, and I'm always going to have that soundbite. I'm always going to have that. And that's just really cool, man. It's good to hear that Vin's doing better. I know he kind of surprised the Zoom call last night with all the Dodger fans, so I thought that was awesome. Pretty cool that a 92-year-old guy is doing Zoom calls, so that's pretty cool.